My name is David Harsh. I'm a songwriter, a student of the guitar, and I have a deep respect and appreciation for all who serve in the American military. I've written a song which pays tribute to those who have fought to protect our freedom, and especially to those who have fallen and whose identities remain unknown. I'd like to share with you how I was inspired to write this song. A few years ago, I had the privilege of attending a week-long guitar seminar in France. It was held an hour east of Paris in the Champagne country. I went in the springtime, and it was absolutely beautiful. I drove through the countryside, past many vineyards, to the tiny town of Bourèche. Only a few hundred people live there, and everything is within walking distance. It was there that I spent a week, along with 3 other students, learning from Pierre Bensouzan, one of the most accomplished acoustic fingerstyle guitar players in the world. In the late mornings, we studied the guitar. In the early mornings, however, I would go running along the narrow country roads. Now, the roads in rural France go on for many, many miles, so there were a lot of beautiful places to explore. And in the process of exploring, I came upon something that has changed my life forever. As a songwriter, as an American, and as a child of God. It occurred to me one morning as I was out running. I realized, as I remembered my world history, that the Champagne country in France isn't just wine country. It's full of World War I battlefields. So when I saw a sign inside of one of the towns that led to an American military cemetery and memorial commemorating the Battle of Belleau Wood, I decided to follow it. Sure enough, I found a wide gate that opened up to a beautiful, neatly kept cemetery of over 2,200 American graves. I felt like I had to go in to see what was there. Directly in the center of the cemetery was a huge stone monument, and then on either side there were these white crosses that just stretched across the horizon. It occurred to me as I stood there in that beautiful, quiet morning, all alone in the silence, that this tranquil place was at one time a smoky, loud mess of a war. And I realized that these men who had been laid to rest 100 years ago were probably buried only walking distance from where they had finally fallen. I was in awe of the respect that they were given so many thousands of miles away from their homeland. And so I began to walk among the graves and to read the inscriptions and the names and the ranks of the soldiers. And then, almost inevitably, my footsteps took me to the unknown graves. Perfectly etched into their marble crosses was an inscription that I will never forget. It said, "Here rests in honored glory an American soldier, known but to God." And there, in that cemetery, in rural France, a seed was planted in my heart. I finished the guitar seminar and returned to America. And then in the fall, on Veterans Day, as I thought about the men and women who have served our country and our Heavenly Father who knows each one of us better than we know ourselves, those white crosses were again very, very clear in my mind. And on that day, I wrote this song. Endless rows of crosses mark the place where soldiers rest, in a peaceful land where war once filled the air. Silent now they claim a fate they knew would surely come, but for which no living being can prepare. Many fought with bravery, unyielding to the end. In life and death their names will carry on. But there are those who gave their lives that rest without a name, and the hope of knowing who they were is gone. And the seasons change, and the years and the colors fade, and the questions fill my mind. Isn't there a father somewhere, mother, brother, sister somewhere, wishing they would soon come home? Someone knew their hopes and dreams, to someone they meant everything, so why do they remain unknown? Far and wide they heard the call to serve with all their might. With hopeful hearts they set their minds to win. They wore their colors proudly, even when they turned to red, and death was all around where life had been. Many marched in victory, but many others fell, and the prize for which they fought they could not claim. Carried to their resting places, many were unknown, so they lie beneath a cross without a name. And the seasons change, and the years unwind, and the colors fade, and the questions fill my mind. Isn't there a father somewhere, mother, brother, sister somewhere, wishing they would soon come home? Someone knew their hopes and dreams, to someone they meant everything, so why do they remain unknown? Time will pass, and through the years these crosses will remain. They tell a tale we cannot comprehend. Many lives were lost in war, but none were lost in vain. The freedom that they won will never end. Life goes on and on within this world of constant change, but the story of the past will stay the same. They will be remembered for the deeds that they have done, even though we cannot call them each by name. And though the seasons change, though the years unwind, though the colors fade, there's a peace I've come to find. 'Cause I know there's a Father somewhere, and He's watching all from somewhere, knowing we will soon come home. He knows all our hopes and dreams. He loves us more than anything, and we do not remain unknown. We will not remain unknown.